Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about a new topic that is behavioral model or behaviorism. Behaviorism is also known as behavioral psychology. It is a theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through a phenomena known as conditioning. Conditioning occurs through interaction with environment. So the behaviors believe that our response to environmental stimuli shape our behavior. Our any response to any environmental stimulus can shape our behavior. Now we will see what is classical conditioning and what is operant conditioning. These are all the two types of conditioning. What is classical conditioning? It is defined as the association of two stimulus, one conditioned stimulus and one neutral stimulus. So, here we can see an association of conditioned stimulus with a neutral stimulus. Gradually, the neutral stimulus become a conditioned stimulus. This is known as classical conditioning. The research by Pavlov was pivotal in the formation of this behaviorist thinking. What is Pavlovian conditioning? Classical conditioning, that is, association of a conditioned stimulus with neutral stimulus, that is classical conditioning, was discovered by Ivan Pavlov, a Russian psychologist, and this is known as Pavlovian conditioning. According to Pavlov, any two stimulus are linked together or connected each other to produce a new learned response in a person or in an animal. I will give you an example. Jasmine is having one cat named Mickey. Whenever Jasmine comes home from college, she do create an audible special sound by opening door, and that can be audible over all house. Gradually, the cat get familiar with the noise, that particular door opening noise, and the cat Mickey stopped playing and everything she was doing to welcome Jasmine at the door. Now, whenever she listened that noise, that special door noise, Mickey will come in front of the door, though Jasmine is not there in front of the door. So here we are linking two stimulus to create a new learned response. This is an example for classical conditioning. Now we will see the famous Pavlov's dogs experiment. This is the famous example for classical conditioning. Pavlov's dog experiment is very famous example, and according to Pavlov's, classical conditioning is a learning process in which two unrelated stimuli are repeatedly pairing to learn a new stimuli. In Pavlov's experiment, he paired two stimuli. First one is ringing bell, second one is giving food. Several times he did the same thing. What he did, that means first is ringing the bell and then feeding the dog. Gradually, when Pavlov rang the bell, the dog would start to salivate without the presence of food. With only first stimulus, the reaction of the second stimulus, salivating the food, was achieved. Now we will see operant conditioning, that is the second type of conditioning. Operant conditioning is otherwise known as instrumental conditioning. It is a method of learning that is taking place through two processes. First one is reinforcement, second one is punishment. Through operant conditioning, we can see an association between a behavior and consequences for the behavior. Operant conditioning is used to create desirable result followed by an action. So, the behavior becomes more likely to occur again in the future. Response followed by adverse outcomes on other hand or other side become less likely to happen again in the future. Operant conditioning is used to shape of future acts based on previous or past rewards and punishment. So in operant conditioning, two things we are concentrating. First one is reward, second one is punishment. I will give you an example. The child doesn't get any chocolate for making his room messy. He made his room messy, so he didn't get a chocolate. So he get a punishment here. So this punishment will make him to change the maladaptive behavior to adaptive behavior. Next example is reward. The child is getting chocolate for keeping his room neat and clean. So he got a reward here to maintain neat and cleanness in the room. Yeah, so this reward will make him to do the work again and again. So will make him to repeat the behavior. That is a good behavior again and again. So rewards is also an example for operant conditioning. B.F. Skinner is known as the father of operant conditioning. According to him, a behavior that is followed by pleasant stimuli is likely to be repeated, and behavior followed by unpleasant stimuli or unpleasant consequences is likely to be repeated. That is less likely to be repeated. So, pleasant stimuli is likely to be repeated, and unpleasant stimuli is less likely to be repeated. Skinner introduced a new term, that is reinforcement. Reinforced behavior will repeat again or it will strengthen. So, according to B.F. Skinner, reinforced behavior will repeat again or it will strengthen, and the behavior which is not reinforced tend to be die out or to be extinguished or it will get weak. So, reinforced behavior will get strengthened and not reinforced behavior will get weak according to B.F. Skinner. Skinner box is an example for instrumental conditioning or operant conditioning. Skinner box is talking about positive reinforcement. Skinner placed a hungry rat in a box. The box contained a lever. When the rat moved in the box, it would accidentally knock the lever. Immediately, a food pellet will drop into the container next to the lever. Gradually, the rats quickly learn to go straight to the lever after repeating this process. The consequences of receiving food, if they press the lever, then ensured that they would repeat the action again and again. This is a famous example for positive reinforcement by Skinner box. Token economy. Token economy is a common technique used in behavior analysis. Token economy means it is a method in which some targeted behaviors are reinforced. Here we can see reinforcement with tokens like money, button, slips and sticks, and later token may exchange for rewards, and the rewards may be snacks, money, prizes, etc. For example, teachers use token economy at school by giving children name stickers or name slips to reward good behavior. And this token economy found to be effective in psychiatric problems to change the maladaptive behavior to adaptive behavior. So, in token economy, we can see the importance of reinforcement, how reinforcement will change the maladaptive behavior to adaptive behavior. Behaviorism was established with 1913 publication of John B. Watson's classic paper named Psychology as Behaviorists Views It. He often considered as the father of behaviorism. Most of the behaviorists believe that all behaviors are the result of experiences, and from 1920 to 1950s is known as the golden period of behaviorism, and during this period behaviorism grown like anything and became the school of thought in psychology. So, behaviorism is a theory which is learning through observable behavior rather than thoughts and feelings. So we can conclude that behaviorism means an ability to define and measure behavior. Many critics arguing that behaviorism is a non one-dimensional approach to understanding human behavior. Critics also suggest that behavioral theories do not consider internal influence, moods, thoughts and feelings, etc. Thank you.